T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now tapped into the coolest reptile podcast in the world. Welcome to Trap Talk Podcast. I'm your boy, MJ. What is good, everybody? If this is your first time tapping in, do your boy a favor. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. That way you're on top of every single podcast I drop here on this channel. I want to say shout out to all my recurring subscribers, all my viewers out there. I appreciate all the love and support. The early birds, I see you guys here in just a second. But yeah, if you're into reptiles, keeping, admiring, breeding, drawing, all the above, this is the right place to be for sure. I'm telling you right now, no matter where you're at in the game, new, novice, expert, wherever the hell you fit at, this is the place to be when it comes to reptiles. So yeah, hitting that subscribe button doesn't only help me, but it's going to help yourself out. That's for a fact. But guys, I got to say this episode is brought to you by REDLINE Shipping, #1 shipping company in the game. The takeover is real. Listen, my background is sales. I'm not trying to sell you guys on anything, but I am converting motherfuckers left and right, baby, because REDLINE Shipping is where it's at, and I'm on the prowl. So please come join the REDLINE team. It's just a matter of time. What I'm saying is going to be relevant. It's going to show itself. REDLINE Shipping is the future, and it's here. Shout out to Robin Markman. Shout out to you if you support REDLINE Shipping. That's all I do, baby. REDLINE Shipping. Salute to you. Appreciate you, Robin. Thank you so much. Looking forward to working with you for the rest of this year and many years moving forward. But guys, what a great episode. I know, listen, different time, right? 1 o'clock Sunday. What the hell's going on, MJ? Normally you do things later. Listen, there's little things I have to attend today, but I'm not going to make another reschedule on this episode. I think I tried to get Adeline and Chris on a while ago, and things just weren't lining up. So we made it happen. So I got to say, if you are kind of curious as far as what the upbringing's been like for Adeline Robinson Art, as far as what it's like for them at shows and what goes behind all the investing as far as traveling and all just the work, the brain work behind everything that you do, this is going to be a great episode for you to kind of get the 401 on all that, okay? But I want to say shout out to early birds in the comments. Actually, before we get to the early birds, I got to say shout out to my Patreon members, my heart. Now, I got to say, if you're looking for exclusive content, but if you're looking to support this channel more than what you see here, if you want more 401 information, you want behind the scenes, if you want to get tapped in to the Discord with over 144 trappers, let's go. Come join the Trap Talk Patreon family, okay? Go down, very first link. As soon as you become a Patreon member, you get the link to the Discord, which taps you into a whole other world, baby. It is cracking in the Discord. So yes, my Patreon members, you guys are my heart. I appreciate you guys so much. We'll get together with you guys next Sunday. Another thing about the Patreon family, we get together every Sunday, face-to-face, update people on things and whatnot. But yeah, we'll pick things back up on next Sunday. Again, Patreon members, I love you guys so much. The movement's real. Who's here? Who's tapped in for this Sunday? I know it's a little out of course as far as scheduling goes. Here we have JKJ Reptiles. What is good? I salute you. Thanks for being here. Joshua Stover. Is that a Komodo dragon? Wow. Epic. Love it. Thanks for being here. Lizardman 0897. Trap Talk Patreon member. What is good? Thanks for being here. Cohen's Constrictors. What is good? Thanks for being here. Trap Talk Patreon member all day. MKB Reptiles. Trap Talk Patreon member all day. Thanks for being here. Steve Chapman. That's a nice fish. Thanks for being here, Steve Chapman. Reptile Lifeline. Wow. What is good? Thanks for being here. Eric's More Factory. What is good? Thanks for being here. Lindsay. What is good? Thanks for being here. Pico Pythons. And we have the homie Chad too. Trap Talk Patreon member tapping in. All right, guys. Listen, I'm not going to waste any time. I want to get this show on the road. Like I said, I'm very excited to have this couple on the show because I've stumbled across their work at one of my very first NARBCs. And, I appreciate art. I love art. But when it comes to like stuff that's like that you could put on a canvas and you could really hang in your living room, that's next level art. And that's the kind of art that these two work with. It's what they do. So be ready. Hydrate yourself. Get some water. Get some coffee. Just, make sure you're hydrated for this because things are going to get hot. Maybe a little heavy. Maybe a little bit both. We'll find out. We're tapping in right now with Adeline Robinson Art, baby. Let's go.
Good.
You ready for do more in the future? Trap Talk podcasts?
Yes.
Man,
Only Trap Talk. Exclusive.
Yes,
exclusive. Oh,
So stop calling us.
Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up.
and we're live. Adeline, Robinson, Art, Chris, these two finally here. Wow, look who it is.
Been a
Hi.
hot minute.
How goes it?
Great. Better now, of course.
We're home.
Yes, we are home. We've got pretty much everything organized from the show. Finally getting a breather, having some coffee. It's nice to just sit and chat and talk. It's been a while.
Well, shit. Talking is what we're going to do because I appreciate any kind of grinding I see out there. And man, if you want to talk about grinding when it comes to showing up to a show, like, animals are not like having a commute and commit to these shows the way you guys have been doing, you know, kudos to you guys, but it's not easy. You guys go through shit sometimes, don't you?
It's been kind of a
Couple of times
nonstop.
now.
Yeah. It's always an adventure.
It's like, I'm happy to see you guys there, but like, what happened this time? Like, what broke down? What was it? Like, was everything good this time? Like, fuck. Like, it's like, you know, these shows are getting harder and harder, it seems like.
Where do we begin?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Which show?
Yeah, which show? No, I feel like the season pretty much kicks off like early August or so, mid-August. So we did the Salt Lake City show, and that went smoothly. Got back, we did Daytona, and then we did Animal Con, and those went fairly well.
Yeah,
Got back,
Those ones went great.
and then heading out to Vegas.
Shit hit the fan.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
since you brought up Vegas, how was the Vegas show to you guys? I'm curious.
It was okay. I just don't.
I don't need you guys. I don't need you guys to go light on me at all. If you felt like Vegas was just not it, and you feel like you will not go back, that's what I'm trying to hear. But if that's not the case, please say so.
I think the promoter did awesome. There was billboards out. I mean, we were out there getting ads like crazy.
Mhm.
Like
yeah, it was popping up.
it was a
nonstop.
great show, massive venue, but just to turn out, and I don't know. Vegas is just a weird place. I feel like it just wasn't.
Well, on the Strip is kind of weird.
Just wasn't the thing.
It's very different. It's different than any of the other cities that we've been to and done shows in. So I think just the type of people that are there are typically traveling. They're not necessarily ready to commit to go to a reptile show and bring something home. So there's a lot of tourists there. So I think that was kind of like one of the main factors. It was like a first time show, right at that spot by them. But no,
Vegas is sex, money, drugs. Okay, it's not reptiles. I'm sorry, but it's about Dave Levinson in a way. Okay, so if you can understand,
it could be, but I don't know. It just takes time. You never know.
that's true.
and just from what I've heard, I just heard Vegas has never been able to pick up a good consistent show, from what I've heard. But maybe if we plow through a couple, like, maybe not too big of a pop in shows, maybe it will happen after a while. But you just need consistency, maybe,
Well, that and like location could be a key too, and just kind of trying out different venues or different areas, maybe more suburban areas, possibly
Yeah,
right on the Strip.
Right. Maybe not in the Strip. Yeah, right. I mean, that might be a good idea. Well, listen, I kind of want to update people as far as what it's been for you guys, as far as how long you've been doing what it is that you guys been doing. And first off, Adeline, was this something that you did before you and Chris met? How long do you and Chris you've been the duo that you guys are? I want to know how far back that goes as well. So let's kind of talk about all this stuff.
That is a great question.
That's a good question.
I met Chris March Tinley of 2014 is when I met him. And we were very good friends for several years.
Yeah, a couple weeks.
Nice. My man.
So we've been really good friends for a really long time. And he's always like outside of a relationship as a friend has always supported me with creating artwork. It's actually kind of funny because whenever like we're sweating our asses off carrying tubs or anything, I'm like, hey, remember whose fault this is?
Yeah.
Because somebody
told up.
me to pursue art. This somebody. Yeah. Initially,
Nice.
I was starting to take some college classes, and because I've always worked in the pet industry, working at pet stores or like at the wildlife center, basically business management was more something that I wanted to get educated in. So I at least had a diploma or I had something to be able to own a store eventually, or because that's what I knew. I never would have thought of crossing art into a business. It never occurred to me. But yeah, I was freaking out one night because I was just
math. You had math.
It was
you
math.
had a test, and you were like,
I had like a test or something coming up, and I'm freaking out. And he's Chris just sits me down, and I don't even remember.
I don't know. I was drunk, so I remember just being like, "Why the hell are you going to school for this?" She's like, "What else am I supposed to go to school for?" I'm like, "You're one of the only people I know that can just like, oh, hey, look, I'm going to draw that," and you do it, and. Why are you going to school for art? And she's like, oh, well, art's hard to get into. I'm like, yeah, it's hard to get into for people that aren't artists,
Right.
So,
I mean, there's people that want to pursue art and just aren't naturally good at art. You know what I mean?
yeah, wrong with that. But I was like, this is your thing. This is all you do. You doodle all the time. Why aren't you going to school for that? And then like next morning I, get up and I don't remember exactly what happened, but like a week later, like, yeah, I changed over. I switched it to so-and-so.
To graphic arts.
design.
Yeah.
Graphic design.
Wow.
And I was like, why the hell did you do that?
Stupid.
Now, Chris, are you a trust fund baby? It seems like you're with this kind of idea. Are you loaded, or how are you able to suggest something like this and not have to stress out about it financially? I'm just curious.
Oh, there's plenty of stress. That's our key.
So many tears.
Yeah, people don't realize it.
That's how I get the good blending on my artwork. Is all the tears.
The natural teardrop it gives that splash.
Yeah.
Okay, really, I want to talk more about this because it's scary to start. Even if you are like, let's say you have something that somebody really wants, right? It's still nothing's guaranteed with that shit, But so there's a lot of things to overcome. I mean, what was the first plan of attack when it came to Chris sitting you down, Adeline, saying, okay, why don't you pursue this full time? What was it? What was the first piece of art you started creating?
Kind of started in like 2017, really, with the
2017 and 18
with br.photos.
Yeah. So Chris is a photographer by trade, and I do graphic design, and so we've had that going for a while. So he was freelancing and doing photography, doing photo shoots for different companies, and so we had been. I guess we had already kind of dipped our toes into working for ourselves a little bit.
Okay.
So we were doing that. And then we both got hired by a company. He was the photographer. I was the graphic designer. We worked there. The first 6 months were great. And then it just turned to shit. They just started treating everybody that worked under them like crap. And I got to the point where I just couldn't handle it anymore. And I had started picking up some artwork after work. So I would get home at like 8 o'clock. And then I would just start doing art until like 1, 2 in the morning every night. And I slowly started building up more and more pieces. And because I've been going to shows and I've been involved in the industry for a really long time, I had a lot of wonderful friends that were commissioning me to paint their reptiles or do their logos. And I got to the point where I thought, well, I'm spending all of my time outside of work working on something that I'm enjoying. And I'm getting paid for it. And if I cut out that salaried job, I would have more time to do it and I'd be able to make more. So I was pretty much like at my wit's end And I was like, I'm going to go for it. I don't know if it's going to work or not. Because at that point, like we had our side business, but I've pretty much been employed by somebody since I was 14. So I'd never done that before, anything like that. You know, it's one thing to have a side hustle when you've got a main one, but to leave my main full-time salary job to pursue art, you know, that was super, super scary, like absolutely terrifying. But I ended up doing it. And the next day.
Oh, yeah, they fired me.
Yeah.
Oh,
they were so mad that she quit. They're like, you're done. I'm like, this is the best day ever.
So he calls me and he's like, so guess what just happened? And I'm like, what? And he's like, they fired me. I'm like, no shit. And I literally said that. I'm like, sweet. Well, now we've got the day to do, you know, whatever we want to do. And we finally have this weight off of our chest and off of our lives. I have definitely been on my own. You've been
plenty
freelancing
of times before. So I wasn't worried about it on my end. She was a little more worried, but I was like, I've always had I'm not going to sit here and say I'm the most optimistic person in the world, but I've always had I'll find something to do, you have
a lot of different skill sets too. There's a lot of different things that you can do. And it definitely helps to have multiple things that you're good at so you can at least dabble if you need to.
Right.
But so February of 2020 is when I quit and I went full-time with artwork.
Now, what was the expectations going into shows? Like, you know, I it's different with breeders, right? Because, you know, people obviously go to buy animals. So you could have just an insane day where everything just sells off the shelf. What was the expectations going into you starting to vend at these shows with your art? You know, did you guys kind of look at each other like, shoot, we need to sell this much in order to survive, or what was all that about?
No expectations.
No, we didn't really start like that.
I knew I wanted to do art, and I knew I was doing commission work, and I knew I was doing logos, but I literally had no, like, being completely honest, no vision as to how that would look like down the road. So I knew I wanted it. No, we don't. I knew I wanted to pursue artwork. I knew I wanted to create traditional pieces and sell prints. But I didn't exactly know. Oh, he's so abandoned.
I can hear you. Keep going. I'm listening.
Oh, you're good. You're good. No, I never thought of what that would look like down the road. And as of recently, we're discovering I never thought of what it would look like if I continued to make art. And how to organize or store or carry or display it. So that's something that we're always learning something new. You know, I recently, actually, that's part of why I've been MIA. Sorry to everybody that's been trying to get a hold of me. We have a shipping room downstairs, and we've had to double the amount of storage space and expand it and get racks and more bins and more tubs and alphabetize everything. So a lot of organizing.
So when people call or ask or order, hey, order this, I can actually find it and send it out.
Yeah.
It's when you have 25 different bins and everything just thrown in there, it's been a hassle.
We've got I think 65 different pieces right now that we offer in prints. Not quite as many stickers, but we still have a bunch of stickers, and we're growing and figuring that out as we go.
So I got to ask you one thing that you guys are figuring it out, or if you figured this out right away, what was the one thing that you were drawing that people were fucking wanting? Like, what was the most demanded thing you felt like that you were drawing, or you still draw to this day? Like, what is it that you feel like people are loving the most?
It's kind of recent.
Which one?
I'd say the axolotl.
Oh yeah,
but that's just because of kids.
It's very trendy.
Yeah,
and it's also very regional.
Location.
So axolotls with kids in Minecraft, axolotls sell like crazy at the shows because Minecraft recently decided to put a bunch of axolotls in different colors in. Every kid is losing their mind. They run over and they start jumping up and down and screaming for the axolotl. So that's one. But like I said, it's very regional. The first time I went to Daytona, I had 5 high detail pieces and a couple line drawings. I barely brought anything to my first Daytona. I didn't have much artwork. I just started.
3 bins of art.
Yeah, we could fit
in the back of our truck.
All in the back. So I had almost nothing. and every person came up and they were like, hey, do you have alligators? No. Do you have tegus? No. Do you have iguanas? No.
Sea turtles?
Do you have turtles or tortoises? You know, because that's what everybody keeps here. No. So it was a lot of learning, you know, regionally what people are looking for. Like if I made a bunch of turtle and tortoise pieces for shows up here, they wouldn't do very well. The only turtles and tortoises people keep up here are like red-eared sliders, redfoot tortoises, and Russian. Like that's
Right.
it, because nobody keeps them outside. But when you go out there, that's all everybody's looking for. So a lot of it's just learning regionally what people are looking for, what's hot right now. Yeah, it's definitely been really interesting. And like some of the pieces that I absolutely love aren't as popular with everybody. And then there's pieces that I'm like, that seem to do really well. So I feel like, I mean, that's the part of the thing about art is everybody's got different tastes. But the blue and flowers is a good one.
Yeah, that's
What do you-
probably the one.
What are you guys doing to, like, you know, for instance, like, let's just say you have somebody who really wants to get some piece of art from you that, you know, but it's something specific of as far as a reptile goes. Like, do you have like a wait list or like information that you collect from people like that, and then maybe like work with them down the road or have them email you? Like, how's that really work? Basically, if like, you know, like I've come across your table and thought about so many things I would love for you to draw, right? But for somebody out there who isn't friends with you, obviously, or isn't going to a lot of shows, do you have something where people could put their information down, or what's the best way somebody could go about that? I'm just curious.
So I have a commission info section on my website. So I've got logo section, I've got a fine art section, graphic design section as well. So usually, like the second anybody comes over, they ask, I usually direct them to the website to take a look at what I've got, so that way they can see if that's the right fit for them or something that they're interested in. If you go to services, it'll be in there.
Nice.
But that's the first part. And then people will either message me on my business pages or through email for the most part.
Now, I mean, throughout time, Adeline, did your craft just start getting better and better? I mean, I'm just curious. Like, I mean, I'm you know, I'm sure people look at your work and admire it, but did this just take years of practice? Or, I mean, were you on this level straight off the get-go? I'm just curious.
I feel like it kind of depends on the piece and it kind of depends on the technique. Personally, I look at older pieces I did when I first started, and to me that they're like trash. Right. There are some older pieces that I like as well. So it really kind of depends on the piece itself. I mean, I try to improve with every single piece that I do. That's my goal, is to try to get better and better. So I hope that I do. I feel like I do notice it when I go back and look at some of my really old stuff. Like I've got my little notebook over here is really the first thing that I started drawing in when I first started getting back into art again. And it's really funny looking through it, you know, compared to what I'm putting out now. But I'm always just still trying to get better and still trying to learn. I feel like a beginner personally sometimes.
I mean, Chris, I don't know how you feel. I'm sure you're on the same level, but this work is just, I'm just obsessed with this shit. Like, this is so amazing to be able to draw something like this.
It is neat watching it change.
I was going to say, you must love it. Now, I'm curious, Chris, like, I feel like you guys, there's a partnership going on with a lot of these pieces. I feel like, you know, I want to see how it is that you guys work together on something or any project. How are you guys helping each other when it comes to successfully fulfilling a project that needs to be done?
Well, I know one thing that luckily she doesn't get mad about is I'm very honest. Like if she's doing something, I'm like, yeah, bro, something's off, you know? So
that's what I need.
Yeah.
Is I don't want somebody to tell me my work is good if it's not to my standard or to a higher standard. I'm always trying to get better and better.
But I'm not saying I'm always right either.
Well, but you've become pretty good at critiquing and knowing where I could improve. And, you know,
it's always like little things like the scale over here is funky, or you need to move that toe. Add another toe. Add a toe. Yep, that'll fix it. You're good.
That's awesome. Now, I mean, if we could kind of revert back to like the show talk here, okay? Now, some people seem to say that maybe the reason why certain shows might not feel the same is because so many shows happen every week now, right? Do you guys personally feel like the show market is oversaturated right now as far as reptiles go?
Maybe. It's hard to say. I mean, because there's a lot of the smaller shows that still kill it. and there's a lot of the big shows that still do great. It's all.
I think it depends on location and timing specifically too, because there are still some small shows that are will do really well at. But I mean, there's so many factors in there.
I mean, what I trip out about is like, we were all at Tinley, right? You would think everyone's at Tinley, but there was like 4 other shows going on that weekend. It's like, dude, this is crazy. Like, what the fuck? There's that many shows, but then also there's people there. Like, there's that many people. So it's like, it's
I guess, the people that are at those other shows obviously just can't make it to Tinley.
Yeah. I mean, well, a lot of it's regional. Like we get asked if we can make it to shows on the Northwest Coast and out in California and in New York. I'm like, I would love to.
Wasn't there one in Seattle or something a while back that messaged us or sent us info?
Yeah, and it's just regionally, not everybody can make it to everything. So like I feel like it is good to have those options when you can't make it across the entire country to be able to make it to one. But yeah.
But it seems to me like there's no show that you guys aren't willing to make it to. I mean, you guys go all over the place from what I've seen, right?
We're trying to. We've been wanting to do Anaheim and
Pomona.
Dude, you're right there, dude. Vegas is right. Dude, you're almost there. Like, you guys can make it to a super show for sure. A Pomona or Anaheim, that'd be great.
We need Dave though. We can only make it halfway. That's our thing.
Yeah, so he came to our rescue.
I don't know if you heard the story or not.
Why
don't we hear it? Let's go ahead and say the story. I want to hear it.
Oh no! So when you asked earlier, like, what adventures have happened in our recent shows, on our way to the Vegas show, our alternator went out on our van, and so we ended up getting stranded, and we actually got stranded at a Love station on the side of the highway. And we're freaking out. We're trying to see if we can find a new alternator, like an O'Reilly's or anything nearby, trying to see if anybody can deliver it to us while we can work on it in the parking lot, because there's nothing nearby. There's nothing around us. Right. Here's a photo of Chris.
Here's the evidence.
His moment of defeat.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So that was Chris. I took that photo.
Wait a minute. Is that a Spritzer? Is that a Mercedes Spritzer?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. That's a heavy loss. Well, I mean, not lost, but like to go through that, it's like, out.
It sucked. So we're stuck there. And then I made a post online saying, hey, is anybody in this area by Amarillo, Texas? We're 30 minutes out. Like, we just need an alternator. Can someone bring us one or something?
Yeah, we found one at the O'Reilly's there. It's just we have no way to get it.
So James Derling and Russ Gurley, they were able to find James Derling's nephew was able to come out and bring us the alternator that I had ordered online. In store, he went and picked it up. He brought it over, and he and Chris are working underneath the van. It's like late as fuck, super dark out. We're in this parking lot at night, and they get it installed. And guess what? It doesn't work. So
we bought a faulty alternator.
The only alternator in the area, the closest other alternator for that van was in Denver, Colorado. So that sucked. So we ended up pulling into the Napa that night, and
we were able to limp it there.
And at 3 a.m, we get a knock on the door, and Chris is like beside himself, and like whips the door open.
Over it, right.
And Dave's there, and he's like, "Whoa, buddy, it's me."
Yeah, Mr. Levinson himself.
Yeah, so he came to our rescue. Chris turns over, and he's like, "Addie, there's an angel here to our rescue." So yeah, Dave and Bree showed up. They're super sweet. Like, they totally did not have to stop for us. We didn't expect them to stop for us, but they did. And so we spent the night there, tried to see what we could get fixed in the morning. We couldn't get anything done.
Yeah,
in time.
The Napa couldn't help. Well, the Napa gave us a battery. They did everything they could. There was an auto place across the street where we were able to limp the van over to, because it would run a little bit now with the newer alternator in it. And they did. This guy told me, he ran every test on it. He's like, yeah, dude, it's definitely your alternators. It's shot. So I can't find one. Dave's like, I got an idea. He leaves, goes and gets a U-Haul trailer, comes back with this thing. He's like, we're unloading your van and we're going to throw everything in this thing and we're all going to Vegas. So it's still a 12-hour drive that we still have ahead of us. And so we empty the van, fill up this trailer,
So we're packed in with the animals.
Yeah, we're packed in with animals. We're in the back seat, like.
You made it happen.
We made it happen. They got to Vegas.
Okay, guys, listen, if it's one thing, I understand how it is important to not only to make it to shows if you want to be in any kind of business position here in this industry, not only for marketing and get your name out there, but look at relationships you could build with people who will be there for you. Because at the end of the day, things will happen, but I can't tell you how many times I hear something happen to somebody and someone's there to rescue them because who they're plugged up with or who they know or a simple. Go ahead.
I was going to say the fact that we found someone that had a cousin in Amarillo that could bring us an alternator in Panhandle, Texas was how? 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you wouldn't be able to do that. Maybe try to make a phone call or so, but yeah, it was interesting.
Very grateful to have good friends.
Because I see people that run into problems because, like I said, traveling, all this shit, problems is going to happen, and some people just don't know as many as other people. Some people can't make it to shows because things happen, and, the only way things get easier as far as getting to be more known or to know more people is by getting your ass to these shows, getting your ass to a US ARC auction, sitting down with them, having some drinks, or just, if you don't drink, just fucking kick it with them, whatever, getting out there, showing that you care and that you are there to support other people is a huge asset for what you can do to start moving in the right direction in this game. I feel like, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but.
Oh, for sure. Literally everybody, but I think one social circle, all of my friends, everyone that's in my life is through Tinley or through shows. Everybody that I know. And I just I keep thinking how grateful I am that there's just so many wonderful people out there. And you see so much negativity online, which I don't get why. But the second you go to shows, it is the entire opposite. Everybody's so excited to see each other. Everyone's saying hi to each other. If you don't know each other, it's exciting to meet you. It's such a fun, wonderful experience. And I wish people that haven't experienced that have only experienced the online part, can get themselves out there and get to talking and meeting up with people, because it's just such a different experience.
We talked a little bit about this before we went live, and one thing about a show, it can kind of throw you off a little bit, because we were talking about how you'll see somebody really talking shit, literally a social media weak little kind of drama being stirred and on how they feel a certain way, and then you happen to run into this person, that energy just isn't being transferred over. There's and this is not just this person. It happens to a lot of people. A lot of people feel a certain way either the day that they're having, or they just feel really brave. But that shit's not happening in person. I'm telling you right now, everything changes. And so, like we were talking about, I don't take things personal no more. If someone has a certain feeling about my show or what it is that I do, and listen, say it to the fucking face, hello. But other than that, if you're not, then I don't. People are just, we're all fucked up. Let's be honest. People are fucked up. Let's keep it 100. People. But the thing is, social media just gave people the freedom of speech that they don't understand they need to carry if it happens to, I don't know. You got to be about what you speak about. You know what I'm saying? If you feel a certain way, then fucking like the whole Animal Con thing, right? You got people who bitch about Animal Con, but yet they could actually go to Animal Con, potentially speak and make a difference. If you have a certain way about how the fucking YouTube world works, and you're even in YouTube, well, why don't you take your ass to Animal Con and speak up? That's why I went. I went so I could fucking, ask Jay from Prehistoric Death hard questions. I wanted to be there for that. Why can't somebody else be there for that? And if you're not willing to, then you should shut the fuck up. I just feel like that's just how it works, So I get people that probably, yeah.
Oh yeah, we had a great time, and a lot of controversial
I saw
people,
a lot of posts
whatever.
online. People are mad
so many
about
people
it,
online are so mad about it. But
it.
did you go? Did you decide to make a stand against what it is you're upset about, or who you're upset about? It's just people shit talking. Nobody's actually doing anything. If they want, a better example out there, they could do it, or have a friend and support them in trying to do it. I don't know.
It's do you really want to be that? Do you want to be that lame person? What I mean by lame person is I'll post a picture of Barcheck and you'll have that one person oh, I wish I could cut his ponytail off. You want do you understand how outdated this shit is at this point? And especially if you're one of those fucking people who never left the basement and you're still talking shit. You don't even show your face. That's the one thing. A lot of these people, who are really making the most noise aren't even involved as like how we are. Like they're not really tapped in like the way we are. They're not showing their faces. They're hiding behind their fucking screen on their, you know, either their tablet or whatever the fuck they use. I don't even think they have tablets. They're hillbillies. But I, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, don't take things so personally. Every day is different for me. Sometimes I see the wrong person talking shit and I have to address it. I'm very confrontational. I can tell you that right now. I try not to be, but like if there's a problem, I need to confront it, especially if it's like somebody where I'm like, yo, I thought we were on different terms. Now I'm seeing this, you know, but I can't live like that. I don't know about you guys, but I don't feel good if I feel like I'm in a fake surrounding. I don't like that. I have like not PTSD, but I guess you could say PTSD. I've been around fake people before and I don't want fake support. I don't know how you guys are, but do you guys want fake support? Like, I'm sure you guys don't want any fake support, right?
Yeah, I don't think we've really come into much of that. And if we have, maybe we're just oblivious to it. You know, like we just try not to be a dick. That's the bottom line. I mean, like
there's so much infighting in this community. I mean, I guess in every community, like really when you think about it, like every group, every hobby or every club will have, you know, infighting or people squabbling. But at the end of the day, we're all here because we love animals and we appreciate animals and we want the best for them. So
it's just, you know, there's certain dots you connect and, you know, you have somebody who's giving you all the props in the world and you're like, man, you know, I'm pretty sure this guy's been following me for a while. Then you go and just realized after all this props he gave you, he just started following you again. And you're like, wow, okay. So I pay attention to things like that. I can't help it, but I'm like, yo, what did I do for you to unfollow me? But here you are refollowing me. That shit happens a lot. And so listen,
I'm going to literally unfollow you right now just to start.
People are light switches, you know what I mean? Off and on, off and on, off and on. I don't give a fuck. I'm all the way on. I stay on. That's why my SDG&E bill is super high. But let's move forward. Your family, how does your family feel about you doing art? Like, you know, if it's one thing, you got Chris, right? But how much is your family tapped in with how much invested you have with you going all in on the art? You know, basically saying I'm not going to do school. I'm just going to do my own thing and do the art. How are they at with that? I'm just curious.
I think they were very supportive and very scared. My grandmother, she's actually an artist. She did a lot of watercolors and she used to go to art shows and art fairs and she did a lot of pottery too. So I kind of grew up with, you know, artists in the family and it was just so different for her then. You know, she had to try to get into these juried art shows. She had to try to exhibit her stuff in galleries. It was, you know, a huge process. There wasn't the same kind of the amount of shows or like there was no social media to be able to network on or meet people with that are, you know, in other parts of the country, unless you're at like a really big event that would only happen here and there. So
right.
I think she's always been super supportive of me creating art and doing art. Always was my grandma, you know, gifting me art supplies for like every Christmas and whatnot. So I think she was really excited, but really worried because she wasn't really familiar with what the art scene is now. And the specific niche that I'm in. A lot of people just aren't familiar with it. A lot of people don't know that this industry exists to begin with. They're like, oh yeah, my nephew had a ball python, and like that's all they know. And so when people like first realize, you know, what this is, usually it's kind of a shock. And like I was showing my grandmother my Instagram, I was showing her YouTube videos and like photos of all the shows. And she was just mind blown. Like when I told her I was live streaming art, she's like, what does that even mean? I'm like, well, you know, I'm recording myself doing artwork live and talking to people from all over the world while I'm painting. And the look on her face of like, holy shit, this is a thing. Oh my God, like just trying to comprehend that. Yeah. That, you know, I've done work for people in Norway or in Australia or, you know, Korea from my computer, you know,
right.
It's a very different market. So they're very supportive, very nervous at first, but I think now that they're a bit more connected online, on my other side of the family, my grandma, she got Facebook, and so she's like checking in with me for all the shows, and she's like, I'm glad you went here and I'm glad you went there and this show was good for you. So it's really really sweet of them.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really help but to just love support like that, you know, because I have family that just like it's Facebook mainly, you know. I feel like any kind of family kind of that supports me is on Facebook. Go figure, because I can't stand Facebook, and it's funny how that works. But they'll just say, hey man, I saw that you're at this, and I looked at this show, and it was like really good job. And I'm just like, oh, that's cool. Thank you so much, my Uncle Chuck. But moving forward to as far as what you guys are doing to seek other ways of financial gain, because obviously these shows happen so often, right? But what are you guys doing out there to see where you guys could start taking advantage of to start giving you some more income for what you do? Like either if it's YouTube or is it like, Patreon or anything like that? Like, what do you guys have going on right now?
Well, we have a couple. Well, she started a YouTube beginning of 2020, and we got the ball rolling. We made like 3 or 4 videos, but then I don't remember exactly what happened.
I got sick right before March Tinley. That got canceled. And so we were like on a roll, and then it just
kind of
stopped. And then I just was so busy with trying to get back on track after that, because we had invested everything we had at that point into stuff for the show, and for the show that wasn't happening. And then had, a bunch of live stuff come up. And so I didn't really get to get my YouTube back on track like I wanted to. So I posted a couple videos since then, but not much. But I'm hoping that over the winter, I'd like to get Chris a new computer at some point so we can actually get back to editing video and get the YouTube going. We've been talking about a Patreon. It's just a lot of work. There's just a lot going on.
Hopefully after the next couple shows, because we still have 3 shows this year, and 2 of them are in Texas, so we have a bit of driving ahead of us yet. Each one of the shows, it takes us over a week in time just to prep, get down there, set the show up, tear it down, and then bring it home, and then re-inventory, and then reset everything up. There's a lot behind the scenes that
a lot of people don't really know, because I guess you don't really talk about it, but usually like for the large shows, it's about like at least 3 weeks of prep, daily prep before the show. Not only am I trying to create new artwork for it, but then we need to create it, get it photographed, get it edited, get it cut out, get it placed on prints, potentially make another sticker order, get get prints made, order bags and sleeves. We bag and sleeve everything. So like at Tinley, we weren't out Friday night because we were bagging and sleeving in our room all night, with help from our friends.
I was wondering where you guys were. I was like, where are these two?
We wanted to hang out.
We wanted to hang out. Yeah, we really wanted to, but the
local print shop that we use, their printer broke
right before Tinley.
Yeah, and we were ready. We were like, I guess we won't have half the stuff. Like there's nothing we can do.
But they busted their ass.
They called us at like Thursday night, and they're like, it's like 10 o'clock, letting us know like, hey, we're here still. We got it working. We're gonna get this done. And we're like,
yeah, they stayed late for us.
It was unreal. So they went above and beyond. We went and picked it up Friday, and then brought the prints and the raw material, the bag and sleeve, up to the hotel room, which was, I don't know if anyone saw me doing that, but it was hilarious because it was a giant cart of stuff trying to, that elevator sucks. Weasel is giant cart in the
dude. Oh my God. I avoided that elevator the entire Tinley. There was time. The only time I went inside that elevator, there was like only 1 or 2 people in there. Yeah, don't go in that elevator packed. I'll tell you that much. You're
twice over the weekend, but I wasn't luckily there for it. But I did get on it with that cart, and it was making some weird noises, and I was like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is how it goes.
It skips over 3. It like jumps over 3. Like there's a big problem. There's a technical difficulty when it comes to going from 2 to 3. It just like speeds up to 4, and you can like feel it. It's like, oh God, one of my biggest fears is being stuck in an elevator.
Yeah, it has the tag on it that says the inspection. If you want to see the inspection, go to the front desk. I'm like, they don't have that inspection card.
It's all the last inspection initialed was like 2017.
Right. Mm-hmm. No, but anyways,
Yeah, no, we just spent all night on that, and then getting displays ready and getting, clients, trying to make sure I'm not ignoring everybody, because I'm having, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the best at getting back to everybody instantly, because there's just so much work involved that it just gets really tiring. And then by the time we get there, setting everything up, making sure we've got bags, making sure we've got labels on all of our bags. There's a lot that I didn't realize going into it, and that I feel like a lot of people don't realize goes into it behind the scenes. So by the time we get there, we're pretty pooped.
I want to kind of bridge this into I want to put a pause on the art talk for a second, because you keep some reptiles yourself. You got some really awesome monitors and whatnot. I want to know how your collection. I'm sure people out there want to know, what does Adeline keep and what does Chris keep? So can we kind of talk about what your guys' collection is as far as the reptiles or even animals? I hear something chirping in the background. There's something going on. So, and listen, while you're talking, I need to take care of some stuff, but I can hear you talk. So please let us know how your guys' collection and what your collection is.
Okay. Well, I don't know how long of a chat it'll be because we downsized so much. So we still have a couple pairs of tree monitors. Unfortunately, I've been keeping everybody separate since we've been traveling so much because I can't monitor them and stay on top of making sure that everything's good when it comes to breeding. I'm just not comfortable having everything thrown together and then being gone for 2 to 3 weeks at a time and then coming back home and then being gone again. So
peace out.
Everything's still separated, unfortunately, but I'm hoping to be able to figure out a system shortly where we can get them all back together again. It's just kind of been a long time of planning. We've got gargo geckos that we breed. We actually have a lot of babies, but we don't tell anybody, and we hoard them. Yeah, so we actually will be getting them up online shortly. I brought them with us to Tinley. They were at the Birds and Beasts Pet Shop table. If anybody was there in 2019 and remembers seeing 4 red striped gargs in the side room, in the tiny little room in 2014, those adults ended up producing a bunch of babies. So we'll be getting them on Morph Market shortly, hopefully within the next couple days or so. We took a bunch of photos of them yesterday, so we'll be getting them up online.
What do we got? 30 something now, we think? 30 babies?
Something like
Not
that.
a whole lot, but the rack's getting full.
Yeah, need to make some space.
That's going to help you somewhat big time once you sell those, correct?
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I was like, we need to do something because we got we have 4 or 5 eggs right now. And I'm like, okay, we only have how many more tubs? 5 more tubs. 5 more tubs. So yeah, we need to start moving some babies. We can make that into.
So that's pretty much it outside of the dogs and the horse. My one.
What's chirping? Did we talk about what's chirping yet? What's the noise? What's happening back there?
That's my dog. He chirps.
That's
a dog. That's not the dog. Are you guys keeping some sort of apex predator you don't want to tell me about?
It's the tree monitors. They just make noise.
All right.
We taught them to talk. It's like Jurassic Park,
Yeah.
That happens in Jurassic Park, right?
Talking dinosaurs?
Yeah, something like that. I'm mixing my movie.
I think the last 3 Jurassic Parks are dinosaurs that were talking, so I think you're right. We're good. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, listen, I'm going to kind of get things back going with the art talk, because at the end of the day, I'm sure that you have a purpose behind all the hustling and all the, sacrifices you guys are doing. I mean, what's the overall game plan, or what if everything goes your way in the next 5 years? What would that 5 years look like to you guys? I'm curious.
What
would you guys still want to be like? What would you guys want to be accomplished by then in 5 years if it could work out your way?
Well, I'll be an astronaut.
We're going to the moon.
My best friend will be Elon Musk. I don't know.
Well,
just keep this going. This is kind of what we kind of decided back in when she first started drawing, because it was either we do the photography thing and start shooting cars and whatever it was that was paying the bills at the time, or we do the art. So she started doing the art, and the art took off, and we said, okay, well, we have to pick one or the other, because when you get a phone call for a job, they want you there today. And if you're in Texas at the time, you can't just jump ship and do it. So we had to pick one or the other. I feel like that's kind of how it went. So we're like, okay, let's put all of our effort into this and make this happen. And so far it's been working. I mean, it's slow and steady, but in the long run, maybe, I don't know.
I mean, I mostly just want to continue trying to better myself as an artist. That's kind of one of my main goals, as well as obviously paying the bills and being able to survive as a human. But like for me personally, I would just really like to continue becoming a better artist, to continue to make stuff that brings people joy and makes people happy. That is like my favorite part, is when I make something and then people look at it and they're excited to like bring it home and put it on their wall. It's an amazing feeling, and it's still mind boggling to me that people want to do that. It's just really exciting. And, just to create I kind of have 2 years worth of projects that have been waiting. And I'm hoping that this winter and like early next year, I'll be able to dedicate a lot of time to my personal projects. With starting out, initially it's very scary, and you're relying on yourself and you're relying on your own income. And so a lot of my focus was commission work. So I kind of put a lot of my projects on the back burner to be able to do, logos and graphic design work and do, private portraits and whatnot. But I'm hoping to try to get a little bit more time in between that to be able to create some of the stuff that I have been like thinking of and different ideas that I have. So yeah, that's like kind of a big one, and keep doing what we're doing, keep traveling and keep meeting people and going to shows. And it's a lot of fun,
I think a lot of people have the fear of just, there's people out there that have the personality where they want security. They want a for sure paycheck. They want something that, even they know they potentially can make a lot more if they do it themselves, they'd rather not do that, but here you are doing what you're doing. But with that being said, I'm curious. Happened again. Hold on. Give me 1 second. It just went south. Like I had a good topic I was going to say right now about you being an entrepreneur, and now I don't know where the fuck it went.
Yeah, that's
like,
okay. It happens to me all the
hold
time.
on. I got it. Hold on. Give me 1 second. All right. Listen, I love art. I wasn't going to say that. Hold on. Okay. Shit. I had a good segue right now. Damn it.
Is it because I'm here? Did I do this?
I am a little nervous. Hold on. Oh, got it. Figured it. I got it. And this is funny because I just had a mental fart, and I'm about to talk about mental health. Great. Figured it out. Overall, do you feel like regardless what financial gain you've gotten being on your own, how's your mental health overall? Do you feel like what it is that you were going through, struggling in school or struggling with like a 9-to-5, do you feel like not having to worry about that shit anymore and just being in control of your own schedule and everything you do you feel like your mental health has turned for the best, or what's going on with your mental state right now? I'm curious.
I'll let you in on a secret. The tears, they're real. My mental health is shot, but at the same time, as stressful and as scary and as like unpredictable as working for yourself can be, I would hands down do that over working for anybody any day. Just being able to see that the freedom to be able to make your own decisions is both amazing and super terrifying, especially if you're a very work motivated person.
Well, it's your responsibility now.
It's your responsibility.
Your idea, your failure.
And not exactly. So you've got that going. And I've always been very work driven. I wouldn't consider myself a lazy person when it comes to working, and I don't know how to stop. And that's my problem, is I don't know how to take breaks. And I know a lot of other artists and a lot of other, entrepreneurs and people that are doing their own thing tend to run into this because, when you're working at a job, you've got a boss or you've got somebody to tell you to take the day off, or like, hey, you need a break, or you take a couple of days off to recoup.
9 to 5.
And you leave that, and you leave everything with it, and you go to your house and you get away from it and you get yourself back on track. I don't really have anywhere I can do that, other than going to the barn, which is incredibly necessary for me to keep it together. But there isn't really an off switch ever. Even when I take a few days off from responding, or I have all my notifications off on my phone, there's still, no matter what, there's always going to be something that requires my attention that's work related. So that's kind of the main thing that I've been running into, is like, how do I make sure that I'm getting everything that I need done and not killing myself in that process by just getting overworked? So it's something that like I'm still working through scheduling. I'm very schedule oriented. If I've got a really good structure, I guess, in my day, then I feel like I've got, enough things accomplished. I've got what I need done. I can take a break here or there. If I don't have a schedule, I'm just working nonstop and I don't know how to stop. So
you gotta understand how big of a gift it is just to have a purpose like that. There's people who wake up and have a 9 to 5. They have no purpose. They have no fucking purpose. You're obsessing over that you have a purpose for. That's a fucking blessing in disguise, because I can tell you right now, all this shit that you're doing will pay off. You obviously, maybe you don't see the light. Nobody can't see any lights until it happens, but it's not going to stop you from doing what you're doing, Adeline, or you, Chris. But at least everything you have has a purpose. And this is why I kind of obsess the fact that, there's people who they skim by with their 9 to 5. Like, they have a 9 to 5, they have the security, but they barely skim by. At the end of the day, what's your fucking purpose when that job's done? You know what I mean? Like, what is it that your purpose is in? I never worked hard until I had what I had now. I was good at sports and used to get so many compliments. Being a hard worker was never one of them, right? Now I get compliments from people on how much how hard work I am at putting content, but I don't really see it. I obsess over it and I do it, but I'm just like, fuck, if I sit back and see how much I'm putting out, I'm like, God damn, that is a lot of work, but I obsess over it to where I just do it. And that, dude, thank God I do. I have a purpose. You guys have a purpose. Just imagine those people who have no purpose and they work just as hard as we do, if not even harder. Fuck that. I'm sorry. You need to find a purpose. And I think you guys have.
Mind-boggling to me.
It's hard to make that jump.
Yeah.
Like we were saying earlier, it's not. I mean, the first time I did it, I got fired. Well, the second time I guess I got fired, but that one didn't count. But yeah, they just like dropped me, and I was like, okay, well, that came out of nowhere, so I didn't know what to do, and it took me a few months to realize, like, wow, that was one of the best things that ever happened to me, because now I can do whatever the hell I want and charge way more for it. So
yeah, he gthen fired and then ends up getting called back.
Pretty much like 6 months later, they're like, hey,
just kidding.
And then he's working as a freelancer. Now he's on his own terms and he's able to charge, what he needs to charge. And if they want it, then, that's what they got to do. And so it definitely was like a huge change for you.
Sometimes that has to happen to show people what they're capable of, I guess, is what I'm getting at here. Because I don't know if I ever would have done it. I don't know if I would have gone off on my own.
Right.
I was pretty comfortable. I liked what I did. Well,
that's the thing with me too, is like if we hadn't moved out of state and worked for that company, and if I hadn't hated my life so much that I wanted to leave what I was doing there to pursue artwork, I don't think I ever would either. Because I was pretty happy where I was at before. I was working with animals. I didn't really see a need to do anything else, but drawing, reptiles and keeping, that's what kept me so connected. And drawing them was how I kind of got back to the community when I was away from it.
And one last, I've never really asked you yet here on the show, as far as how much work have you done where it's gone on people's bodies? Basically, how much tattoo work are you like drawing up? Do you ever see that being a thing? Because I already know I'm dying for you to draw something that I want to put on my body. But has that happened to anyone else before? Have you drawn something that somebody's put on their body yet?
Reptile wise, not really. I've done a couple tattoos in the past, but not really any of my recent stuff. Because I think a lot of it is just very realism, and you need an artist to kind of specialize in that if you were to get that done. But Christo over here,
hey, you helped. You helped make.
I assisted a little bit.
You helped a lot.
One of his designs was actually recently very freshly tattooed last week or so.
Where? On you?
No.
On who?
I'm still pure.
A friend of ours reached out and asked if we would be cool with using the design as a tattoo. And so I'm like, hey, what do you think? And he said, sure, why not? And so he sent us photos and videos of it, and it's awesome.
It
looks really cool. So yeah.
I mean, listen, I no offense, but I've seen some animals on some people, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why would you let that person tattoo you for? Like, hello. So
folios are important.
For one thing, invest with the best. I feel like if you ever want an animal on you should go to Adeline and see what she can do for you. I think that'd be great. Should I not advertise that? Never mind. Don't do that. I was joking.
That's
the reason why I'm not a tattoo artist. I don't know how any of that is going to look on your body.
But wait, hold on. That's not your, wait, hold on. Time out. That's not your department. You say, okay, you take this to the tattoo artist and they tell you, fucking, you know what I mean? Like, if this is what you want, then you know what I mean? I don't know.
That's what I tell people is they're welcome to commission me to work on artwork, but I can't tell them how that's going to look on them, where that's going to look cool. Like I get that. Oh, can you move this here? Can you move that there for my shoulder? That's not what I do.
Respect for tattoo artists. I couldn't imagine sitting there and being like, yeah, I'll draw you a dragon, and then you draw this awesome dragon. Like, awesome. Could you make the dragon look more like a dog? And then could you add my grandmother's name into it too? And then, you know what? I like clocks. Can you add a gear in there too? Like,
one unicorn, please. I just want.
I've actually drawn a unicorn that's been tattooed on somebody. Unicorns I'll draw all day long, no problem. But you know, when it comes to like tattoos specifically, I'm more than happy to draw a design, but I do not have a knowledge as to how that's going to lay out or how that's going to look on somebody's body. So just to make it clear, more than happy to draw it. Don't know how it's going to look as a tattoo.
I'm glad. I mean, honestly, it makes sense that I would not want to dabble in that kind of shit if that's what it took. If it took me drawing this piece and I'm like, here you go, and you come back, you're like, sorry, the tail needs to be longer. I'm like, what the fuck? No, I already drew it. It's done. You know, like, but
yeah, I've got insane respect for them, and they know how important it is too. That's going on your body. That's going like for the most part going on your body forever. And so, you know, all the tattoo artists I've ever spoken to, they're very understanding. They're very kind. They're very, you know, they want to make sure you love what's going on you because that's, you know, kind of their legacy that's on you as well. But man, like serious respect for them because I would not be able to do what they do.
Okay, I have a wrap-up question before we get into some hot seat questions. And obviously we know that you guys deal with different levels of stress when it comes to you vending or even just being in this industry. But what do you guys recommend anyone out there who has a hard time dealing with stress? Do you guys have anything you recommend, or what is it you guys do? Like, how do you guys cope with stress? What is it that you guys do?
I'm not the best at it.
Both handle stress very differently. And that's the thing too. Everybody's handles stress in their own way. For me, I need things to be silent. I want some lo-fi music. I want some tea. I want to be left the fuck alone. So I can just like de-stress myself and get myself into that mode. Like It's got to be silent. It's got to be quiet. I want my methods. Light a fucking candle or something. That's what gets me calm. And I'll write my lists of, okay, I'm stressed out. I've got a lot to do. What do I need to do first? I itemize it. So it's in front of me and I can see it. It's not jumbled in my head and freaking me out. Because that's when I get stressed out the most, is when I know there's a million things to do and they're all flying around and I need to just see it as a list and then tackle it one thing at a time. Christo, when he gets stressed out,
I scream at traffic.
He screams. There's a lot of screaming. Everybody is entitled to their own reaction when it comes to getting stressed. His stress reliever is screaming when he's angry.
Amen, brother.
Yeah, that doesn't work for me, but it works for him. And so we're, you know, working our way through that right now. But I mean, I know there's like stress ball things and like different things that people do when they're freaked out to like kind of help get them back on track. But really, at the end of the day, it's taking a couple to a few days off to take care of ourselves again. Because it's not something that we are very good at stopping and doing, because we're very go. Got to take care of this. Got to get things done. Like, we're responsible for it. We got to get it done. But we're also responsible for our own mental health. So that's something that we've been talking about. Okay, that's the number one thing. How do we take care of that so we can take care of everything else too? And not just mental health, but physical health as well. You know, if you're garbage and you're treating your body like shit, you're going to feel like shit too. So.
Hey man, I think at the end of the day, if you got to scream, just scream. Plain and simple. That's it.
Sometimes you got to scream.
Listen, 1 hour went by really quick. I appreciate this so much. I know there's going to be many rounds of us to speak on this show to come, but thank you so much. Hot seat questions, though. Hold on. You're not leaving just yet. Hot seat questions. The deal with these, say them as quick as you can as far as the answer goes. I need you guys to answer at the same time, though. Don't look at each other.
Oof.
Don't look at each other. Just wait until this is over, then look at each other. Okay? All right. Hot seat questions for Adeline and Chris. Are you guys ready?
No.
So yes, for Chris. Adeline, ready?
Sure.
Here we go. Hot seat questions. Frozen, thawed, or live?
Ours is always
Thawed.
Thawed.
Would you ever cut an egg? Would you ever cut an egg to help Pip, or would you never cut an egg?
I'd cut an
I
egg.
cut.
Red Chondro Neo or yellow Chondro Neo?
Red.
Both.
Both. Fuck, they're both pretty. I painted a red one though, so I'll
Wait,
go.
hold
with
on.
red.
Wait. Did you say both? You can't, guys. Hold on. You can't say both. I need one or the other.
Yes, we can. You asked
No.
for it. You got it, bro.
My rules, Chris.
All right,
Okay.
yellow.
Thank you. So red and yellow. Favorite tree monitor?
Fuck.
Ooh, that's tough, man.
I have two.
One. I need one. If it came down to you, okay. Favorite tree monitor to draw. How about that?
That doesn't help. This is lame because I like all of them and I can't pick one, but I'll go with Macri because they're doofuses and I love them and they're stupid and I love them.
I would have to say that. Chris, if you had to pick, come on.
I don't know. I liked our greens were pretty cool.
Christina's respect. How about yay imports or boo imports?
Yay.
Yeah, you need them.
Respect. How about one reptile? If it didn't matter about the time, space, money, any of that, if you could import one reptile anywhere around the world to your collection today, what would it be?
I know what his would be.
Oh.
Actually, no, I don't, because one of them we don't know if it's extinct or not.
Well, let's hear it from Chris. Chris, what would it be, Chris?
Beans.
I'd go with. I think it'd be pretty cool to see a Tuatara. I'd keep one of those if it was legal.
Addie?
Does it count if you don't know if it's alive or not?
Like still on this earth?
Yeah.
It might be extinct.
It might be extinct, but it's
Like
still
T-Rex?
no, it's
Maybe Amazon. We
one
still
of
haven't seen all that.
it's like a giant New Caledonian gecko.
No, it's New Zealand.
Or New Zealand, I mean.
Yeah.
Sorry, not New Caledonian. There's this like giant gecko from New Zealand that they found in like a jar.
They found a stuffed one
Or a
in
stuffed
a
one?
drawer in like the 30s from a museum. Like, so everyone's like, what the hell is this thing? And there's like
They just found it's like a separate species, and then there's rumors that it might still be around.
because no one's ever seen it.
I
No
want
one
to
knows
see it.
anything
And
of
it's like
this
bigger
thing.
than a lychee. So
Yeah,
that thing's
it's like
fucking massive.
2+ feet long.
Like lychees are like this big. It's bigger than that. Like I want to see that.
That's probably the heaviest answer I've ever had for that hot seat question. Like you literally like any answer's been something. I know what that is. You just threw something at me. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. So respect. This is what this is all about. Okay, how about this? One import nobody should ever import. Leave it the fuck alone. Don't touch it.
Oh.
Ah.
I would go with, it's already kind of on that list, but
What is it?
what's it called? Galapagos iguanas. I mean, but that's not like the first animal I think
No,
of that you can't really mess with is that, you know.
The marine iguanas, the ones that are in the salt, like they're in the ocean and shit. They're all black. And
They
crazy.
dive into the algae that's like 30 feet down. How do you feed that? You know, how do you get this? You know,
I would say that with like sea turtles as well.
yeah.
Sea
Because
turtles.
you can't keep them alive. So
I would say leave it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely stuff that I feel like shouldn't be priced as low as it is. Like, not to go off topic in the industry, but
Yeah.
those are like two that definitely should not.
All right, don't lie on this next one, especially you, Chris. Big flexor or no flexor?
Big flexor.
No flex.
I'm gonna
So
go
Chris is a
with-
big flexor. Yeah, Chris is big.
How big flexor?
Yay sports or boo sports?
Dude, I don't sports.
Chris, what do you say?
I can't even spell sports, bro.
Yay alcohol or boo alcohol?
I drink here and there. I
Yeah.
shouldn't.
Meh
It's a
alcohol.
meh.
What would be your choice alcohol beverage? Like what would be the one thing you're like, oh sure, I'll take that.
A little glass of like Johnny Walker. Some good
I
stuff.
can. That blue label, yes. What about you, Addie?
When it comes to drinking, it needs to taste like there's no alcohol in it. So as long as it's sugary, I don't care. I don't know what's in it. As long as I can't taste it.
A pina colada is what you're saying.
Love
Yes.
those. Yes.
Okay. Van Halen or Sammy Hagar?
I don't know who Sammy Hagar is.
She does this a lot.
You know who Van Halen is, though, right?
Halen is, but I don't really like them.
Yeah, I don't know. They're both cool in their own way. That's a tough answer. Sammy Hagar.
Oh, son of a bitch. You should just never said anything, Chris. You fucked it all up. I'm just kidding. Listen, steak or fish?
Fish.
Fish?
I like steak, but fish.
Little word association. What'd you say?
But sushi.
Oh, she said sushi? Sushi's bomb. I love sushi. Okay, little word association. First thing to come to mind, milk.
Titties.
Yes. Woo! I like this girl. She's awesome.
Mine was moo.
Substrate.
Chips.
Coconuts.
Stuck shed.
Eye caps.
Geckos.
Instagram trolls.
Oh, I don't know. Like a certain one?
What comes to mind? I don't know.
Oh.
Sad.
I was gonna say annoying.
Annoying and sad.
Reptile shows.
Fun.
Good times.
First time ball python breeder.
Education.
Yeah, read up.
Y'all are bullies, man. Okay, listen. If you had to get rid of one show that happens every year.
Oh, fuck no.
What show would it be, man?
I'm serious.
Who are we gonna hurt?
It hurts. I know it hurts.
And from shows forever.
Headlines.
No.
I know. Okay, what would be the one show you say? Okay, we don't need to do this one if it came to eliminating one show a year. I'm just curious. What would it be?
There's that one in Indiana, ran by that sketchy ass dude. I don't remember the name of the show though.
Oh shit!
But
You just had to say Indiana. Indiana's good. That's it. I'm good with that. I'll take it. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't remember who or the name of the show, but I know the guy that like runs.
Yeah,
it
I
super
can't think
sketchy.
of it because the shows we go to have been okay. So
Yeah.
I mean,
And when I moved there, I'm
I
like,
don't
hey
think-
guys, what's the reptile scene? And they're like, don't go to the show. So I'll go with that.
Oh my God. Listen, guys, we had up to 50 people tapping in this live on this Sunday afternoon. So first and foremost, thank you to everyone. Make sure you hit that like button. But what do you have to say to everyone out there who's really rooting for you guys? Especially love watching you go to all these shows and whatnot. Like, what do you have to say to all your supporters out there?
Just a huge thank you. It's honestly mind blowing that I get to do this. And I feel like it's a privilege to be able to do it. And it's something that I never thought would even be possible. So it's obviously it's not possible without you guys and without everybody's support and everybody's help. Thank you for helping me live my dream and for helping us feed our animals.
Also, Addie just added a Chris collection to the website, so I would definitely go check that out.
Chris is doing artwork too now, so we're both artists.
Where's Chris? Where's the Chris selection? Where's that at?
It's in it's the shop
Oh,
and
the
under.
Chris selection. I see it. Oh, hold on. Let's look at this real quick. Hold on. This is cool. Whoa, buddy. You should have plugged this a long time. Why'd you wait to the last minute? Wow, this is sick. What's the what okay, so like reptiles in space? Is that the theme here? What's going on?
Yeah, it'll be rocket reptiles.
Is that a ball python too? Dude, you're showing love to the ball python community.
That's what just got tattooed.
What? You got this tatted on you?
No. You don't have it.
Your friend.
Yeah.
Dude, Chris needs to get this on his butt.
I was thinking about it, but
That'd be
I
hot.
just need to stay pure.
Well, listen, everyone go check out. I'm going to geek out over this today for sure. I might even scoop something up for sure, 110%. Listen, at the end of the day, guys, not everyone's as lucky to have the significant other support what we do, but you guys are basically two on a mission, on the same mission. I'm happy to see your progress. I'm happy to see your guys' progress throughout the last few years since I've been following you guys, but I know there's still lots to come. And I'm rooting for you guys, okay? And I'm not the only one. So I got to say thank you so much for spending your afternoon with me. Please, guys, do your best. Do your best to enjoy life as much as you can. That's what it's all about. But, guys, thank you so much. It's a wrap for Chris and Adeline Robinson Art, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Love you, too. I love you. I'll see you at the next show. Thank you so much. See you guys later. Peace out. Oh, what a couple. I love them. Thank you so much for spending this afternoon with me. Please hit that like button, hit that notification bell, and hit the subscribe, all the pleasant stuff. That way you're on top of every single piece of amazing content that I come out on this channel. Again, if you're looking for exclusive content, if you want to tap in with my Trap Familia, then go down to the link below. Join the Trap Talk Patreon family and come tap in with us, man. Come see what we're all about. Join the Discord and let's grow. I will say before I let you guys go, this Monday, tomorrow, new breeder on the block series. I have somebody I feel like who's been killing it in the podcast game. He's a big time up and coming breeder as far as the ball python goes. More importantly, I see him going to a lot of the shows, putting himself out there. So it's about time I bring on my homie Terrence and his wife. I wonder, wait, is this wife tapping in? Not too sure, but either way, Keys Constrictors coming to the damn platform tomorrow. New breeder on the block series, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Coolest reptile podcast in the world, and that's a fact. Guys, thank you so much for spending the time with us again. I appreciate it. Again, Chris and Adeline, you guys are awesome. I appreciate the episode. And yeah, I'll catch you guys here tomorrow, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Make sure you'll give me a follow on Instagram. Make sure you go, listen, all my new Instagram plugs are right there, TrapGod619 and the Trap Talk podcast. And make sure you guys also, please, go like my new podcast page on Facebook. Yes, I created a damn podcast page on Facebook. Go like it because you can also watch my shows there as well. And yeah, that's it. I love you guys. Have a good Sunday. Be